Do you live your days as if merely surviving were enough? You wake up, fulfill your obligations, follow the routine, yet deep inside, do you feel that something is missing? Dostoevsky challenges us to reflect on a harsh truth. Living for the sake of living is not enough. The secret of human existence is not just in breathing, in moving through the days. It is in knowing what one lives for. He believed that human beings need purpose. Without it, even the greatest comforts become empty. You may have financial security. You may have stability. You may have everything many people long for. But if there is no meaning, the emptiness remains. It is like a thirst that nothing can quench. When we do not know why we are here, every path feels directionless. It is like walking in circles, tiring ourselves, spending energy, and yet feeling as though no progress has been made. But when we have clarity, even the greatest pains become bearable, because there is something greater that justifies the struggle. Think about your own life. How many times have you done something only because it needed to be done, without any real meaning behind it? And how many times, on the other hand, have you thrown yourself into something you loved and felt that even the difficulties were light? The difference between one and the other was not in the amount of effort, but in the purpose behind it. Without purpose, days drag on. With purpose, days fly. That is why so many people, even surrounded by achievements, still feel an inner emptiness. The soul longs for meaning. Dostoevsky saw this in his characters and in real life. When a human being does not find a reason to exist, he becomes lost. But here lies a great truth. Purpose is not something that simply appears. It is something that is built. Many times it is born out of pain, out of necessity, out of a sincere search for something greater than oneself. Think of how many parents find strength in their children. Think of how many entrepreneurs discover courage in the midst of failure. Think of how many people who have suffered loss rise up to help others avoid the same pain. Purpose is born when life calls us to go beyond mere survival. And if this message is already awakening something in you, like this video now, in doing so, more people will hear that they are not condemned to live without meaning, that it is possible to find a reason for every step they take. The secret lies in stopping to ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What would make me wake up every day with the desire to keep going, even when nothing feels easy? It is not about living to please the world, but about living in alignment with what makes your soul shine. A life without that alignment becomes heavy, but a life guided by purpose is transformed into constant energy, like a fuel that never runs out. Dostoevsky believed that suffering, when carried with meaning, ceases to be merely pain. It becomes part of a greater journey. That is why he said that even the greatest pains become bearable when we know what we are fighting for. The question he leaves us still echoes today. Do you know what you live for? If the answer is not yet clear, perhaps it is time to search. It is not about something distant or impossible. Many times, purpose is found in the small things, in caring for those you love, in work done with integrity, in the courage to rise when giving up would be easier. Life is too short to be wasted on paths that lead nowhere, and too long to be lived without meaning. The world does not need people who are merely alive. It needs people who are conscious of why they live. It is that awareness which gives direction, which creates legacy, which turns every step into part of a greater story. So, I ask you again, do you know what you live for? If the answer is not yet within you, Do not be discouraged. Keep searching, because when you find that reason, everything changes. The weight becomes lighter, hope is renewed, and life stops being mere survival to become a true journey. And before we finish, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. Here you will always find reflections that will help you see life with more depth. To find meaning even on the hardest days, subscribing is making sure you do not walk alone in this search for purpose. See you next time.